a really weird sign that the one person I talked to on the train platform is studying pharmacology and wants to maybe be a psychiatrist. And I sort of told him, oh, that's interesting, because I just tapered off psychopharmaceuticals, and maybe I shouldn't have even said anything, because his response was, you should take the meds, or he just said, take the meds. And I don't know if that was a warning or a test or what. Interestingly enough, the first time I took the train to Santa Barbara 6 years ago, I was sitting next to a man nearly the whole way, and at the very end of the ride, he told me that he has bipolar disorder and that he takes the meds because his family wants him to, and he agreed that he needs to. And I'd never heard of this before. And then I got off the train, enjoyed 3 weeks in Santa Barbara, and then went back home, and then I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder a month later. Actually, I had heard about it from one person before. So I just find it interesting. I'm about to get on the train, and this guy's like, take the meds. And I feel like this is where all the context I've created for myself comes in handy. He even said, that runs in my family, I understand you perfectly. Take the meds, it helps with the mania. And he was very emphatic about it, like almost like a hypnotizing, brainwashing statement. And not curious about how I told him I was taking a micronutrient and I'd been off meds for 7 weeks. And I said, I'm not going to take them again unless I'm thrown in the psych ward and put on them, and I have no choice. So that definitely felt a little fearful. It's almost like confronting just a little mini situation of somebody being like, take the meds, and someone who has no power to make me take them, and somebody who's just a stranger. But how's it going to feel when I tell people that I know, and they'll be thinking, oh my God, you're supposed to be taking those meds, in their head. And after we both realized we didn't resonate, me and that guy, we sort of said, well, good luck. So we'll see what happens. It might end up that I have to take them again. Not because I feel like I need them, but basically being forcibly put on them. It sort of arose in my mind this morning or last night that this whole thing has been iatrogenic illness. This whole 6 years has been iatrogenic illness. I had this transformational crisis, and then, by the way, I was received and treated.
1:30 or 2 o'clock reservations to the dining car. 1:30 and 2 o'clock reservations to the dining car. Also 2:30 as well. 2:30, 2, and 1:30 to the dining car.
And by the way, I was received and treated. It just indoctrinated me into that paradigm of lifelong medications unless I do everything within my power to get out of that. Because that first medication made me so much worse, and then that justified other stuff, and then I finally tried to get off them years later, and it didn't work, and I ended up back on all the meds. And so I do need to learn how to communicate that more powerfully, or if a stranger's going to tell me point blank, just take the meds, what are people I know going to tell me? And then that will cause some kind of rift in the relationship. This person, I'm never going to have to see them again. But if I tell someone that I have to see again, that's going to come into the interaction. And I did tell somebody before I left that didn't know. Only 2 people or 3 people there knew that I was tapering. And there was a 4th person that didn't know. And I told them. And they were happy for me. So, yeah, I think I will take that as a little bit of a warning. Be careful who you tell, because I told that person because there was no real risk involved. The biggest risk would have been that I ended up sitting beside him on the train, but that didn't happen, so my nervous system was meeting that moment and kind of testing it out. And I got an email back from that arts festival that I was supposed to perform in, and they said, no worries, and that is good news, so I don't have to worry about that. So really, I'm free. I could go back to one of my casual jobs in a month or so. But other than that, I'm pretty free right now. It's kind of foggy and smoky outside because there's been some fires here. It could just be fog. So maybe I'll spend a little bit of time thinking about who I might want to tell and how, and maybe no one, maybe never. I did reach my goal of having a good California tan when I go back, though I am a little bit out of shape right now and weak. And I did eat a lot of food at this course that I was taking this past week, so I'm feeling a little heavy in that regard. When I go home, I hope to work on my diet a little more and talk to myself a lot. Just that one interaction with that person, talking to someone who doesn't understand the conversations that I've had with myself for hundreds of hours. Yet at the same time, that's still really fragile because so many people would just come with their program memes of take the meds, take the meds, take the meds. So easy for someone to say who hasn't taken them before. So easy to say, not easy to take, very difficult to come off of. When I get back, I want to donate blood.
See, Claire, there it is. That would be ridiculous. 1%. You can see anything here. It's like
Taking a 33-hour train ride is a good idea until the train hits a car. Yes, that literally just happened.
I'm gonna be late.
So apparently the person is okay. They actually got out of the car after it got hit and flipped over. I didn't see anything, so I really don't know. But I felt the train hit something. And then we came to a stop a period of time later, just a short period of time later. We've been here for probably half an hour, and I really don't know how long it's going to take before we get going. But note to self, don't cross when there are those little bars coming down and the flashing lights. So there needs to be an investigation through the train company and through the police, and the locomotive's damaged. So yeah, it's pretty unbelievable. And my throat's starting to hurt, so this journey home is a gong show.
Okay.
Now I can see why people fly. So there needs to be a repair crew, an investigation crew. I will probably miss my connecting bus. I don't know if the bus waits because the lady who was hit by the train died. It's difficult to imagine someone breathing and driving one moment and dead the next. And the shock of the realization before impact. We're on our way after that sad tragedy. So I'm off stretching my legs. Pretty shocking turn of events. One wouldn't want to argue with this thing. I'm practicing this voiceover thing. Instead of just having the scenery, I'm talking in the background after the fact. And I was just mentioning that I want to donate blood when I'm back home. And right after I said that, that's when the train hit that car and killed that woman. So I hope when I donate blood, it will save someone's life who stands a chance. And also, it'll be the first time I'm ever able to donate clean blood. The other times that I've donated, maybe up to 5 times, I had lithium and Zoloft and maybe trazodone in my system. But they still took my blood. It was still acceptable, but this will be clean blood given to someone who needs it. So I'm happy about that. And my throat feels a bit funny, so I think my voice sounds a little bit strange. This part of the trip has been really beautiful through the mountains. I'm starting to recognize the scenery as more like home the further north that we go. And seeing Mount Shasta was so beautiful. I've taken this trip 2 other times, 2 other two-way trips, and I never saw Mount Shasta because I think when we went by it, it was still dark. But since the train was delayed, I got to see it, and it's really immense and beautiful, awe-inspiring. I've been reading some of the book Stealing Fire. I bought it a while ago on my iBooks app, and it's actually quite good. It really describes so many of the characteristics and traits that come online in so-called mania. To me, it's talking about the same thing, so I'll definitely investigate that deeper at some point. Not sure when. So much to investigate. I would definitely recommend reading it and just seeing if there are parallels to what we've experienced in those states. And they unfold it and make it sound all wonderful for people who consciously try to get into flow, but if some kind of extreme flow happens just by the process of the universe unfolding through us, then, oh, it's a mental illness. So I don't know about that. I really, really don't.